Hey, everybody, it's St. Sarah and Savage. We're coming at you here a week or two after the road trip to kind of do a recap, kind of put some closure onto it, maybe leak some future plans that we're thinking about doing, and just kind of tie up the shenanigans of this road trip.
Yeah, it was an epic road trip, man. It was a lot, not only a fun road trip, but it was mentally, you know, releasing as well in a good way. Such a great trip. I mean, flew
Yep.
in, first of all, even before I even met up with you, met up with a friend and right north of Kansas City, and haven't seen this guy in 14 years, man. So was able to go and meet up with Dean. It's not this guy. Was able to go and meet up with Dean and have a good night with him, and actually fixed me a nice steak and a lobster and in
I
his
saw
restaurant,
that.
which was so cool. So yeah, then came down to your house, met your beautiful family, stayed the night, checked your place
Yep.
out.
Yep. And then we got out Saturday. I think we were able to pick up the car at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, like right before they closed. And 2,950 miles total on that
Nice.
bad boy round
Yeah.
trip. So yeah, picking up the car was interesting too because we were originally supposed to have a full size sedan. When we got there to pick it up, our boy at Enterprise there in Joplin, Missouri, said, and I saw a sedan sitting there, and it was the car that they'd originally tried to sell me. And he said, "Would you guys like an upgrade to a small SUV?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, sure." And so we went out to check that out, and then he said the mileage was too high on that, so I got another free upgrade up to an Explorer, and that was quite the ride. So we got the car, came back to the house, and then we headed out early Sunday morning, about 6 a.m.
Headed to St. Louis
Yes,
because
sir.
you got
First
my
stop on the trip.
mindset on the City Museum. You sent me a video, and ever since the day you sent me a video clip of the City Museum in St. Louis, and if you guys have not seen or heard of the City Museum, by all means, go check it out. It is
Yeah.
uh, it is an adult playground meets art meets uh,
Sketchy welding.
sketchy welding meets the dark world kind of
Yep.
stuff. So
Very, very urban fantasy like. It was insane. And once he saw that video, that's the only thing that he cared about doing on this entire road trip was City Museum in St. Louis. And but also too, like we were over ambitious. Like when we first set it up, we had set this dude up to do like 8 hours a day driving.
yeah.
And the more we thought about it, man, 8 hours is brutal. The 4.5 to 5 we did in the car each day was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was plenty. That was plenty of what we needed to do. So the City Museum is a must. I give that a 2 thumbs up. If you have a chance to go check
Absolutely.
that out, and not being on a huge itinerary, we went also had a chance to go up into the Arch too the next day, which was awesome.
Yes,
And
sir.
which Justin, you had um, you know
Yeah,
quite a little memory there as well, right?
man, I had so before going into this trip, I was getting kind of stagnant and stale. Just kind of in my mindset, I was just kind of set doing the same thing and kind of lost track of where I was at. Just was getting in a rut, and so I wasn't really hip on going to the Arch. It was just kind of meh. But then when we got there, it brought back memories because I don't know, it's probably been 15 years we went, and it was a struggle walking up through the Arch because you can't park anywhere really close to
Yeah.
it. And then fitting in the elevator. Like this time, there was room for more than one person because it's a small capsule. There's pictures and stuff of it, but I guess the thing that hit me the most is when we were leaving. There was another gentleman there that was big. That probably that 4 to 500 range, and he was having a hard time getting in and out of the little test capsule down on the ground floor. And then how hard it was for him to walk, up and out of that area. That just, that right there was just such an eye opener to me going from where I was, being bigger than him, at 15 years earlier, standing in that same spot, knowing what he's feeling. But now I'm able to walk around and not have any kind of issues whatsoever. So that was like big awakening number one mentally for me on the trip. So that was, I mean, I'm glad that was like a forced march going to the arch, but it was very well. It was much needed. It was very well.
Once again, you had 12-year-old Travis again going, "Hey, that's the arch over there. We got to go to the arch, Daddy. Let's go to the arch, Daddy." You know? So
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we did that. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you would have told me without going, hey, you go up in a pod, I would have never thought of it being that small. Your head,
Yeah.
like you said, your head is literally at the top of that pod, and your
Mhm.
shoulders are against the side, and you're sitting maybe 4 people in there.
Yep. Well, there's 5 chairs, but
Yeah.
it was tight. And the time before I went up in there, that was pre-COVID, so they were putting 5 people at a time because it was busy. And the first time I went up in it, it was myself taking up one entire side of that car, and then my father-in-law was wedged in there with us, and then there was a little grandmother and her granddaughter, and that's it. That's all that could fit. So this time was just crazy because we could have fit. I mean, honestly, all 5 adults could have fit in there.
And that ride up is no
close.
joke. That's a 4-minute ride up with no windows.
Right.
A small little service window on the inside, and you can see the stairwell and some mechanics as you're, clicking to the top.
It is not. It is not for the claustrophobic.
Not for the claustrophobic. Definitely not.
So,
But
yeah.
it didn't bother me. It was just really, it was just wild to say, I mean, once you get in there, you're in there. So if you freak out halfway up, you got a
you're
wild
freaking out
ride.
all the way up.
Yeah.
So, and then we also, while we were there, we got to meet up with John Ray of the DDPY community and had dinner with him.
Yeah, he went along
that
with
was
us
good
and
to do.
had on our cheeseburger view with us.
Yes, sir.
Even got the burger he didn't want. Got it for me. He got the Carolina burger. I don't know why you would do that, John, but hey, you do you, my friend.
Wild man John Ray.
That's right. He's like, I don't even like this stuff, man. I got it for you. I'm like, you're eating it.
But now but hey, at the end of it, he said it was a decent burger. So that was a plus.
Funny. You remember, I did talk to the manager and I said, you can't call this a Carolina burger or Carolina sauce because you have to be specific when you talk barbecue sauce. If it is a mustard sauce, that is a South Carolina sauce. Okay,
I learned that on the trip.
And mustard sauce is a South Carolina, and we tend to keep that in South Carolina. I don't even know how it snuck out the state and got out there. That stuff is nasty. We just keep it contained right there in that little state of South Carolina.
It didn't look the best.
Vinegar base is the way to go if you're gonna go barbecue. That might be the next go. That might be the next road trip. Barbecue.
Yeah, everybody puts too much sugar in barbecue sauce. I mean, I guess I would go no sauce.
That's what I do always. I always tell them no sauce because I don't want someone, we can get off on another tangent, but I don't want someone passing me off old crappy barbecue because they've soaked it up in sauce. No, Give me the pulled pork. Put that pulled pork on my plate, and then if you have some decent sauce that I think I might want to entertain, then put those on the tables.
Yep.
There's a place in Nashville. They're not in Nashville, but on the way to Cherokee, North Carolina. They're no longer open. They were called Country Boy Barbecue. And it was just a little shack on the side of the road. And man, oh man, that dude, it was family owned, and they only made enough to last when they were out of barbecue. They closed down for the day. They closed down for the day. Yeah, and so good, so good. And that's what they did. They never sauced their stuff, right? They would give you your on a plate. And actually, it wasn't even on a plate. It would be on parchment paper, and and then their sauces would be on the table, so you could sauce it as needed or as you want. And most vinegar base doesn't have sugar.
Yeah,
it's just vinegar, some red peppers, and and whatnot.
Yeah, but I'm from the Kansas City area, and we like a sticky sauce around here. So that vinegar stuff, that's salad dressing. So I don't know. I mean, it might be the whole chili conundrum again too, because I mean that it got worse the further east we went. It was just like, yes, man, this is
Yeah,
bad. So
yeah. I'm a chili snob too. It has to be the right chili. So,
yeah,
as a matter of fact, I was thinking about you yesterday. Or the other day actually. I went to a local place about an hour or so away. Right, it's called Haps. And it's cash only, so I don't carry cash. So I got all the way up to the door. This is a little bitty place, counter only. You go in, you order your burgers and hot dogs. That's it, no frills, and you get out. Right. Um, but I did go back in and had some cash. Went back in and got a burger. Their chili looked like water. I was watching them dump the chili on the burgers. So when I went up there, I just went cheese, mustard only. And they
yeah.
were like, just cheese and mustard only? I was like, yeah. I see that soup that you're putting on the burger over there. I don't want any
Oh
of it,
no, oh no.
right?
Yeah, we had a few soupy ones on the trip, so that was unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but
So
anyways,
that was great. And then we eased on down the road to Lexington.
yep. After the whole debacle of spending 3 hours looking for food off the trip, we could have been in Lexington early, but we did finally make it.
You know, there's just an area there, and we joked about it. But I said we should just roll up to some of these houses because it was just farmland, 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 right? Miles and miles and
Yep.
miles of it. We should have just rolled up to someone's house, knocked on the door, said, "Hey, cousin, we're here for lunch."
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we're going to review
But
you, whether it's a PB&J or whatever the hell
we,
you're going to feed us.
yeah, we might have been picking buckshot out of our backside, so it's probably best that we just found a truck stop with a Wendy's and gone that route. So
You're right. You're right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So got to Lexington and we got to meet up with our kind of our editor in chief, Matt Schmidt. Um,
Yeah.
I
The
met
guy
Matt
that
online.
makes all this happen right here.
He's the one that polishes this turd that we're putting out. Thank you, Matt.
That's right.
So I met Matt a year ago online. He reached out and we kind of got to conversing back and forth about weight loss and just kind of stayed in touch and found out that Matt is a kind of a brilliant editor. He does he's kind of savant with it. He does a really good job, and we asked him along on this little venture to edit for us. And he also helps me in my little project, the next 90%, and he actually is a host on the next 90% with me and editor there too. So had to meet him. We were going to Lexington, so we met up in Lexington and had dinner with Matt and his son at the famous Perquette Diner.
Hmm.
And like I said, it was good to meet Matt face to face because we've talked a bunch on the phone, we've talked a bunch online, and putting a
Yeah.
name to a face is good. And well, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. It was
you
great to meet
you
him.
hear you hear about him talk, 6'5", good sized boy, but when he walks up and I got to kind of look somebody eye to eye. That's a good sized fella.
Yeah, it had you and Matt were sitting on one side, and he had his kid with him, and you look like you had your kid with you, except your kid's got gray hair. Two little kids
Yeah,
sitting
and a
over there.
mustache.
The chick comes over like, "Hey, sorry, your kid's got gray hair earlier. You want the kids menu there?"
Yeah. But I told Matt, I said we get him healed up off that boot and stuff. We might have to reform the Legion of Doom in the DDPY community. So
There you go. There
that
you go.
get that going. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, hey, after that meetup with Matt, it was back to the hotel, workout the next morning, and we did a workout every morning um, for shamrockfitness.org.
That's right. We sure did. And before we took off out of Lexington, well, we did take off out of Lexington. We made a slight
Yep,
little local detour, and we did a long
yep.
distance mail delivery for
One of our T-shirts.
our good friend Jason Sparks. So we're able to kind of get out there and say hello from a distance to him because unfortunately he was rocking the COVID when we came through.
Yep. So Jason had one of our T-shirts, and we decided that he needed to have it on the road trip. And it was actually on our way. It was just a little jog off the highway, and actually, Jason gave us a way to go around a big nasty construction snarl on the highway that saved us some time.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Oh, also got you for lunch at the Burger Shack.
Yes, sir.
Smoky Bears.
Smoky Bears.
Yep.
Barbecue Shack.
Yep.
I should have just got the barbecue sandwich. The barbecue was great. Now, I gave them a review that didn't reflect their barbecue. It reflected their burger. Their barbecue is smashing. All right. So, my review was, again, nothing on that review reflects their barbecue.
No hate, Smoky Bear. And you also got 2 bottles of sauce that you really enjoyed, too.
I did. But I see which one is gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jason's going to need
one
to
was
mail
a
you a couple
mild
more
hot
bottles.
sauce. Yeah, one was a mild mango hot sauce. So it was,
Gotcha.
But the other one is the habanero. That's a drop or two at a time.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm not Jason doing shots of hot sauce. Which Jason, he owes us a shot. He said he was going to do a shot for New Year's Eve, and he didn't do a shot on New Year's Eve of hot sauce, not alcohol.
Right.
And
right.
Which
well, we'll just have to bring him on a broadcast studio and make him do it live, and then we'll record it and put it on the YouTube channel. So one of the big secrets we kept on the road trip, and one of the things that we weren't really announcing, was we actually were heading to the DDPY Performance Center on Tuesday evening for a workout Wednesday morning with DDP himself, Diamond Dallas Page.
That's right. That's right. And little did I know that we were going to be going to the PC, and even more so, little did I know that I would be leading that workout
at Dallas's house.
At the crib. So that was pretty sweet. Yes, sweet. And I think the workout went okay.
The workout was perfect. There wasn't a single thing wrong with that workout. So other than hey, kick our ass in this workout. And it was like, seriously, did you have to say that?
Okay.
yeah. Then you got the smile, and you could almost see him twisting his mustache up like some villain off some cartoon. Okay.
The mustache just curled itself when she said that.
Right. So yes, we were able to get that workout done, and that was an amazing experience. I got my Positively Unstoppable title belt signed while we were there.
Nice.
Yep. I honestly thought about seeing if I could switch it out for his world title belt, but I think he probably would have figured that out. So probably best that I did.
Which is pretty wild when you actually are down there looking at all the memorabilia and you see his belt, and that everyone else has picked up and put on the shoulder, and I would put my hands behind my back and just walked around with my hands right behind my back and didn't touch a thing. Didn't touch one thing down there. But pretty wild.
That was a surreal experience. Yes, one of those things that goes down in the memoirs. Sure. Also, while we were in Smyrna, we got to meet Kat Bell from the DDPY community, and she joined us for not only one morning workout but 2. I don't know why she came back the second time,
and she claims she's not a morning person, so I think she debunked that simply by crushing the workout that she did. So.
Especially the second morning, because she was waiting on us at that door to the conference room in that morning. So, yeah, that second morning, she was sitting there leaning against the door like, hello. It's like, we'll get there in a minute.
So the next time we go down, I think, she's having enough hours underneath her that she could probably run the class for us next time. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
I think so.
I absolutely think so. Yep. So our adventures in Smyrna, we were back and forth to the Performance Center a couple of times. We got the grand tour. Travis may or may not have got a little bit of footage shot with the one and only Mr. Steve Yu. We're going to leave that there.
Yep. It was a pleasure meeting him. That's all I say.
Yep. We had a good time talking with Steve as always. I'd met Steve several times before and consider him a good friend. So it
Solid
was
dude.
good.
Yeah.
It was good to spend time with the PC, and it was crazy going back this year. So that was another one of those moments where I kind of had another moment of clarity, because last year when I was there during Positively Unstoppable, I was kind of going through my treatments for the PTSD and stuff from the weight loss, and very uncomfortable. I paced around a lot. I wasn't comfortable around groups of people. But this time it felt like home. There was no nervousness. There was no pacing. There was no. I just felt at ease.
Yeah.
So it was very good going back to that place too. Where I had so much conflict, in my head, and then easing that all out. So that was a good experience. So there's a lot of growth. When we talked about at the beginning when we started this out, we talked about growth, and there was so much growth for me, getting out of my comfort zone, and then these little obstacles.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people talk about imposter syndrome. Do I need to be here? Do I deserve to be here? And you probably maybe felt a little of that in the first go round of being there.
Ab-
Um,
Absolutely.
and that's where you come in, and it's nice to overcome that, and to go, you know what? No, I'm supposed to be here.
Yep.
And that's not a
This is mine.
cocky. Yeah, that's
Yep.
not a cocky feeling by no means. It's just like, okay, I feel comfortable. That's
Yep.
what I'm trying to say. It's just you feel comfortable, and
Yes, sir. And that's just part of doing that work up here.
yeah,
It's part of getting that homework and getting that settled. That way you can make those changes and have those experiences. And you're right. Absolutely.
yeah. Well, then we got on the road and we eased on down to North Carolina, back to
Then
the
you
easy. Well, I like to say ease on down
easy, well, down the
because
road.
it goes with my song. I always go to ease on down the road. The
That's
Wiz.
right. Yep.
But we eased on up to North Carolina just to make it,
Yep.
geographically
To Greensboro.
right. Stokesdale,
So,
actually.
well, actually, we went to Greensboro first, because you said we needed to go to a hotel and check out a spot to do flexibility class of room because you didn't have room at the house. And that's no kidding, because I don't know that I could lift my arms in your workout room.
Yes, and guys, I
But
don't live in a shoebox, but the ceilings
no,
are really low.
it's dude, it's a super cool old farmhouse, and
Yeah.
they were going for efficiency back in the day, so they didn't have 9-10 foot ceilings. You couldn't eat that much space.
Well, the funny thing
You
is,
know,
my wife's grandfather built this house, right? And he was tall. I think he was 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
oh
He was
no,
huge. So yeah, they built this house, but I guess they figured the upstairs were for the kids, not for them.
yeah. So I thought we were just going to look for a workout space at the Marriott, and when we showed up, none other than Brian F. Jones from the DDPY community came out and acted like he was going to get in the car while I was sitting there playing on my phone. And that crazy guy drove 9 hours from Florida to meet
Man.
up with us to work out and to meet me, because we'd been talking online for about a year, and he stepped way out of his comfort zone in taking that trip. He had told us that several times, that it's one of the first trips he'd taken, and he was working through some stuff, and that it was a big moment of growth for him as well.
Yeah. So we were actually to have a nice group come through. We had Tom and Heather came in from the beach. So you had
Right. Well,
Brian come up.
the first night we did flexibility class there at the
Right.
Marriott. It was Brian, Robin, your lovely wife, Robin,
Hmm.
myself, and you, and then of course the Sham Fam on Zoom. And then that night we just kind of went back and crashed because we were pretty much wiped out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then Friday we got up, went to the hotel, did a workout. And then by the time we got back to your house, we did the t-shirts, a cheeseburger review, and we had another workout that evening, and I crashed. I went upstairs because somebody convinced me that I needed to teach my first L1 practice opening class.
Who could that be?
Yeah, that was me and Brian Jones. So,
Which was
um,
awesome, man.
yeah, getting that pressure, staying up the night before. I took a nap that afternoon on Friday, and when we got to the hotel, back to do the class that evening at 6, that Brian and I were opening up the teaching segment of that, and Thomas Willent joined us for that, and his wife Heather, and your wife joined us for that, Miss Robin.
Yep.
Chris and Rebecca High joined us. They drove an hour. Was that Brian? Of course, Brian was there. Brian joined us. He was actually staying at that hotel.
Yeah, and that was it for Friday night.
That's right.
And Saturday.
Well, after that class, so now I'm going to have to go back to this because Brian and I's first tiptoe into teaching a class was we had 2 level 2 instructors in the classroom with us, DDPY level 2 instructors. There was 5 positively unstoppable champions between the Zoom and the room. There was, I don't know how many other level 2 instructors on Zoom with us. There was about 25 people online.
Yeah, it was quite a few people online. Yeah.
So quite a big room. And I tell you what, I was really good. Yeah, no pressure at all. I'm a killer at introducing myself in the workout and going through breathing. And after that, it went right off the rails. But tagged Brian Jones in. And, man, he killed the salutation. And he was going strong. And, I mean, he did. I mean, we both had that first part. And then Travis stepped in and finished it up. So
actually, I let Tom step in.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. My nerves were still jangled, and I wasn't real sure where I was at that point.
Yeah, no, Tom the man, he came in and finished it up, and then I just came in and just kind of like thanked everybody because Tom, I don't know if I do the cool down. I think Tom did the cool down.
You did the cool down.
Yeah.
No, I think you did the cool down.
Yeah. I can't even remember.
Anyways. Yeah. But that was an insane night. Just the energy in the room of a live workout and then doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
That was just crazy. And then we ended up at a Brazilian steakhouse that night.
That was some good
eats.
Good food. And I think that was the thing that you and Tom kind of jokingly talked about getting together and doing. And here we are, you and Tom.
That was awesome.
Steakhouse. Yeah.
We've been talking about it forever. The problem is Tom got me there when I've been in maintenance mode, couldn't put down quite as much meat as I could the year before. So I think he outdid me at that night.
Yeah. So when you're in maintenance mode, those places don't work so well for you.
I mean, I had a pretty impressive showing, but man, not near as impressive as I could have this time last year. But.
Yeah. Well, when I go to those places, I go straight carnivore. I eat meat only. Stay away from the bread. Stay away from the sides. Yep. I just you come over here and keep carving, dude.
Absolutely. I tell you what, the best thing they had that night was the garlic fillet, and then they had that one flank steak that was amazing.
Yeah. I didn't have anything that was bad. It was all
no. So that was a good supper, and then of course, it was back to sleep, and next morning was the last and final workout, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, Friday night felt like the end of summer camp to me. Like the next day you're getting up, summer camp's over.
Yeah.
There was all those sad emotions of like, oh my gosh, this is almost over and I don't know what to do. So had one final workout.
Yep. And Lily came and joined us for that. We had an extra one come in on that day. So she's a student that used to come when I was teaching at the gym before COVID, shut everything down. And since, she's been, still stayed with me in Zoom, but it was cool to see her and have her come in and do the workout. Just being with people is, I love the Zoom and the community that we've built. Don't get me wrong, but being in the room with everyone is so amazing.
The live classes are so recharging and refreshing that you forget about that, and it's just a recharge. Yeah. So that's what my whole thing on the trip was getting that recharge.
Yeah, so. And to piggyback on you and Brian teaching, that was my mindset to begin with, is to have you teach some classes, or along the way, if we came across an instructor in training, have that person lead a class.
Right.
See how they do, check their style out. You know, and that's what I want to do on the next go round. And we'll put that out there. If we go on the
Well,
next trip,
let's not say if, let's say when we go on the next trip, we'll
there
have
you
a
go.
more grown. We learned so much on this. Like
Oh
this
yeah,
one was just, this one was like a month and a half in planning. It changed 15 times. And when we got out on the road, we learned so much that, we could tell, like, we're going back through and watching our cheeseburger reviews. Like the first ones were just, and then as we got in, it was like, we're going to go in, set up the camera and just do it inside,
because we're
you
doing
know?
this with the School of Hard Knocks, man. We don't know what we're doing. We're just doing it.
Right.
So yeah, we thought we could go and do some reviews, by memory in the car. We thought, wow, that's not the best,
Nope.
then we thought, well, let's set up. And then we thought, well, hell, we're going in here and we don't really want to, set up and just, we weren't totally comfortable with that.
Nope.
And, then we realized, well, what we're going to do is call ahead maybe to some of these places, call ahead, pre-plan, the
Yep.
whole setup. That way, when we go in and set a camera up, they're not freaking out. They know
Right.
what's up. Um, the only thing I
And
don't like
maybe,
about calling them is you can't get a true review of what they're doing because they're going to try their best to make whatever you're getting the best.
yeah,
Hopefully,
I, I really kind of prefer our guerrilla style. I like the going in, just setting up the phone because there towards the end it wasn't a long drawn out deal. And most of them, when we just said, "Hey, we're going to set up over here and do a cheeseburger review right there on
yeah,
the spot," they were really cool with that. So
yeah. I think what we should do is we'll ask someone as well that we meet that's local. Like for example, when John was with us or Matt was with us, we do our review. We'll say, hey, we'll buy your cheeseburger, but you need to be our
join us.
cameraman on the spot.
Yeah, that's true too. That helped a lot
Because
on the
when
last couple. Yeah,
Yusuf, uh, you know, Yusuf
Yusuf and Brian.
helped us in Greensboro, and Brian, that was awesome for Brian to have us, that shot across from BJ's.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So all of those made a big difference in how the review was set up and even viewed.
Right. And then also too, just the different content things, different places to take pictures, different places where, we probably should have stopped and just got, like a 2 minute video clip saying something about this spot here.
Yeah.
So it's all about that content. So
Yep.
we'll
Yeah.
work on that next time.
Heck yeah, man.
Um, and then, one of the last things that really impacted me the most of this trip was when we were leaving the hotel after the workout. And um,
That was powerful, dude.
it was an insane moment. I'm walking out. We learned that in the beginning, dealing with hotel staff, if I took my belt in and we explained why we were there, why we needed the conference room, it was a lot easier to get the room, a lot more receptive. Um, and then we also maybe got a few of them to check into the program.
Hmm.
Um, but as we were leaving, there was a girl there that actually recognized me from the YouTube video that was put out last year, my transformation and weight loss. And I guess her husband and her had seen that and were starting their health journey because of it. And when she recognized me, that was like, because they're not in the community, like they're outside of DDPY. They're not,
Right.
and I'm
This was a
not, I'm not saying,
random person that saw you. Her eyes got like saucers. She almost
I
started
know,
crying. She wanted a hug. She took your
yeah,
picture. It was nuts. It was like,
I,
that's wild. That's pretty
that
wild.
was, uh, that was an insane, but just meeting, but also meeting the community. And, everybody that we ran into, it was crazy that, I don't know how many times we heard it. You guys are real. You're real people. It's like, yeah, we're real people.
Yeah.
It was just fun. And that was the recharge. That was the recharge I needed. I mean, I really, really needed the trip because, like I said, I was stagnant. Um,
Hmm.
and it's got a whole lot of inspiration going, and it's got a whole lot of new projects coming down the pipes. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm excited. And you never know. You never know what you might see the next cheeseburger review.
there you go. You'll probably get kicked out for wearing that inside. come walking in that they're not going to know what to do with that. So, but
sir, could you please leave?
So, man, after leaving that, a buddy of mine from Kansas City, Missouri, which is about 2 hours north of my hometown where I live now, he was in North Carolina visiting a friend of his, and we went and picked him up and came back, dropped Travis off, and grabbed all my gear, and that was when the real emotion started because then it was really over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of the trip. So, it was
I
one of
know.
those moments.
I found myself the next day sitting around. Was like, wonder what Justin's doing.
Yeah. Well, the next day I think I woke up at like noon or something like that. So, well, no, the next day I was still driving. So
here's the cool thing, though.
Yep, that's what sparked it all.
I don't know if I can get the whole thing in camera view, but
maybe you can get it hung up. And I can see most of it. Maybe get it hung up and send a picture to Matt. He can edit it in.
What I'm gonna do is get it hung up, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to get lights behind it without being, without it coming around. I want to get some super thin, to go behind.
It'd be kind of cool. Have you seen the cloud walls that they do where they put the lights behind the cloud wall? Ask Caitlin; she'll know all about it.
Okay, I'll do that then.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but I got some plans with it. Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, man. So, and then you finally made it home, right? Finally made it home.
we left out there at your place probably 3:00 that afternoon on Saturday. And
it was around 3, and you were trying to beat the hell out of a storm that was coming in like a madman.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like we had originally were going to plan to go back south through Greensboro and catch the highway. And Chris's buddy had told us, hey, there's a route you can go to kind of go north and kind of go around north of Greensboro. Mm-hmm. And that's the route we went. It added 20 minutes, but we went up and around and the storm kind of went south of us. Because you guys were checking on us about every 10 minutes, but we caught some rain and whatnot, but we went up through up north and then came back down. So, yeah, we missed it.
Oh, that's good. And then it was gnarly.
Oh, when we went through Kentucky, it was there. We went through spots and it was just destroyed.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but yeah, the highway cut through some of that damage, but we made it to Nashville that night and stayed the night and then got up the next morning. And then Chris and I went on to Kansas City and I dropped him off and hugged his wife, said, see ya, jumped in the seat and drove on home, man. I was ready to get home. Been away from my girls for 7 days and came home, slept in the next morning and then washed the Explorer and took it back.
Nice. Good stuff.
So
that was an excellent trip, man. Excellent trip. Everything went perfect. Everything went smoothly. I don't think we could have had a better trip, man, to be honest with you. Things were it was set almost the bar really high for the next trip, that's for sure.
It was really pretty scary how smooth it went, because you're other than that first night, me sitting there thinking, I don't want to do this, it was.
Which you played that off smooth as hell because I had no idea until the end of the trip,
Right. That was one of those deals that, like I said, it was the trip. When you said at the beginning of this recap that it was about mental growth, yeah, I don't think I've done it justice how much growth I had just doing this and all the different things along the way that helped me out. So no, it was awesome. And don't forget, man, we need to say a thank you to our supporters.
Yes, very much so.
That was
who you are.
Everybody that bought a shirt, the folks who donated the shirts,
and not even the shirt. Some people bought a shirt and gave us like gas money, and
right.
That was awesome.
Cheeseburger money. We got a few tips in the PayPal to have a cheeseburger on me. All Season Signs, gave us a really good deal on the shirts, very last minute. They got these things printed, like just right there in the nick of time. So it was just amazing, and we could ask for better support along the way, and getting going.
Yeah. So many thanks.
And we are definitely going to be doing more of these because it not only was it good for us, we know and what we've heard back from the people that we met along the way that it was good for them too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and we're gonna plan a little better as far as where we're gonna be and actual make it an event. You know,
well, part of this one, the hard part was trying to keep the trip to Smyrna, kind of under wraps a bit. So
yeah,
that
you
was
you were sneaky on that, but didn't tell
yeah,
me until the day we were leaving Lexington. Basically, I didn't even know where we were
yeah,
going. We had no real itinerary, and I think that's another reason
yeah,
why it made it so smooth. Is neither one of us cared when we were going, what time we were going getting there. You know, we weren't looking at
right,
our watch. We didn't go, well, we got to get here, we got to get there. It was just, hey, we're okay. Today we're going to St. Louis, and we're going to see what we're going to do. You know, went to
yep,
Lexington, and then Bing Bam Boom, we're in Atlanta. But yeah, there was
yep,
no set itinerary, so that's what made it
huh.
so nice.
Yep. The only set thing we had was workout times, and that's we knew that hey, we've got to get to this destination for this workout, and it all lined up the way it was supposed to be.
Definitely, and with that said, I want to say thanks to Ryan Nichols and Bruce Nelson. Bruce Nelson really came through. He picked up 4 of my classes for me, and Ryan picked up a Monday night class, which was it allowed us to be able to relax and do what we needed to do, whether it was traveling or just you know not having to worry about being bound to the time of class.
Right.
So thank you to those guys for picking up my slack.
There you go. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to say that we've just about wrapped this up.
Yeah, man. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. That's what I
Absolutely. And
like to
hey,
say.
yeah, and stay tuned because we definitely have more shenanigans planned, and I really think that we're going to have another one of these coming up pretty soon.
Fingers crossed very soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so stay tuned.
All right,
Thank you
everybody,
guys.
go ahead and say you want to.
Bicycle.
There you go. See everybody later.